Everyone, welcome back to Friday Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Bitcoin on the weekly, the daily, maybe even some shorter time frames. Give you some levels to be watching for this week, for today, tomorrow, whatever. All the good stuff broken down in a little bit of a simpler way so you can be a little bit a step ahead of the next guy to your left. Let's go ahead and get started. Bitcoin on the weekly chart to start us off with. So we had our close yesterday, going into close right at the 8-week EMA. So far, we're trying to see some nice follow through to the upside. That's what we want to see. You could see our rejection previously after we broke through the EMA 8, came right at the EMA 14. So note that. That current level is just shy of 23.4, right? 23,370. You can see at the top there if you follow along as I'm moving my cursor here. So that would be the next level to be watching. If we continue with this follow through, we could end up coming down this week, and this would end up being just like a wick like we had back in these weeks, right? So, keep our eye on it. We don't know what we're going to do yet, but this is a bullish candle, not because it has just a long tail. This is an outside bar candle. Outside bar candles are very bullish, certainly on the weekly chart, which we have here. An outside bar engulfs the previous candle entirely, right? So that is what this is, and this is a good sign for the bulls, but you got to have follow through, right? It's not enough to just have one candle. You got to see the follow through with it, and that is this week. So we'll see where we close in 6.5 days. Let's now zoom in. Let's remove these charts and let's see what we got on the daily chart. So let's put it back on auto here, right? We got our Bollinger Bands, right? Nice bullish move from the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We're working on 6 green days in a row now. We got a little bit of an upthrust starting to form. We've hit a high of 24,490 around that, 22,5. Hello. Why do we hesitate there? Well, look back at your previous zone here, right? This is our loss. This is the level that we lost that reversed this trend, right? Here's our uptrend that we were working on since June, right? Stair step up, and then this is the exact level that we lost to start this new downtrend. And now we need to work back to, back up the stairs again, right? So just a lot of work, right? Bears go much faster than the bulls, unfortunately. So that is kind of why we're hesitant right here. If we can somehow close above 22.5, I think we could probably see some more follow through. Maybe we go back up and test all these highs, these range highs around 25K. If we can close above 22.5, 22.6. So far, right, very indecisive. We got a little bit down, right? Our low for the day is, 21.5. Our high for the day is around 22.5. So we just very range bound right now. We'll see where we end up closing, but that is the level that we're watching. A breakout above there, and I think we can see some nice movement because this past 5 days, right? A bottom test of the Bollinger Bands. Look at the mouth opening, right? We're seeing some nice. What we don't want to see is this start to close back up, right? So if you see this start to go more flat and not, diverging from each other, then that would be a little bit of a pause for hesitation. This is resistance, right? This is resistance because that was such a big level. That was the reversal point. Not only that, you can go back and see the high here, right? The consolidation on the initial drop here, right? So multiple touch points on that same level, 22.5. We need a break above it to have some more confluence and more follow through here. So, you got to wait for confirmation, wait for the closes. Don't try to anticipate. There you go. So let's go to the hourly. What to watch for today. So today, so far, on the hourly chart, right, moving averages looking good. Seems like support we like to hold at 34 right here. So could we come down here? Of course, right? That's tends to be the line in the sand, at least as of late, right? The hourly chart. So that number, 21.9. We'll see if we get back down there again. So far, we're trying to hold even the 21 EMA. So watch for that for today. We'll see. We really gotta stay above this top section, right? The Bollinger Bands, the bullish part, right? And the top half of the Bollinger Band. You can see that divisive line right at the 20. If you didn't know, the median Bollinger Band line is also the 20 SMA, right? You have the 21 EMA in the yellow, but so if you're wondering what that was, now you know. So the median line on the Bollinger Band on any time frame is the 20 SMA. So there you go. So watch for that. You can remain bullish as long as you're in that top half. So we do not want to see an hourly close under there, or we could get some little bit of a more warning signs of more consolidation, or kind of a retest towards this lower part. If we start to close under moving averages we haven't closed on before, that's your kind of maybe a heads up that the could be rolling over in a bigger way, right? We want to be holding at least this 34 EMA on the hourly chart, right around 21.9 as of recording. So let's go and see what other things we got. On the weekly, zoomed way out, right? The RSI, the relative strength, right? We have no strength still. So we need to build this back up again. Going back in history for Bitcoin on the weekly chart, really you can divide this quite easily between bull and bear markets around that, right around this level, 53, 54, right in that area. You can see anytime we're up here, it's a bull market. Anytime we're down here, bearish, bear market, right? Bullish, bull market, bearish, bear market. So until we get back above this, unlikely that we're entering a bull market anytime real soon, right? This is the weekly. I mean, we're looking at, if we basically just go up in a straight line here, we're looking at, early next year, maybe Q1 next year, February, March next year, if we go straight up, basically, right? But there's a bigger trend, right? We're not even in an uptrend yet, right? We're still in a downtrend. Trend lines just identify trends, and this is the trend that we're in. So we need to break that by, on the weekly scale, it's going to take some work because, yeah, you got to break that, but that's really not. To break a trend, you got to make a higher high. And you guessed it, the higher high is right there around that bullish, bearish level. So when you got that much work ahead of you, that's not going to do you much good just to say, I'll wait 6 months and we'll check back, right? Let's zoom into the daily chart and see if we got anything else that might help us, right? So to really get things moving in a bigger way, well, let's look at the daily chart, which is where we are. Look at 2022, right? Starting right here. 2022, what's a significant level? Well, we seem to be having difficulty getting above and maintaining above 62 on the relative strength index, right? We get a little bit of a workout going and then, we quit. We start to get, and then we get the leg day and we don't want to do it anymore. So we need to be breaking above 62 and we need to be holding above 62. We need to flip that as support and not hold it as resistance. We barely peek our head above there and we don't like it, right? It's too much effort. So we're right at it right now, right? So we're coming up to it. Are we going to bounce again and get rejected, or are we going to break through and hold it as support, right? Ideally, we want to see, maybe we reject initially, right? But we have to get above it sooner or later and hold it as support. And then we can work our way up, right? That's what we need to do for the bulls, ideally, right? Maybe you're a bear and you're still hoping for 4K. Good luck. But that's the bullish scenario that we need to be seeing in order for us to really gain strength, right? Relative strength index, that's all it is. Measures how strong that said asset is. So that's that. A little bit. That's my wrap up for today. What else we got? You need to be watching the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? Let's keep it focused here. Let's go out to the weekly, right? The weekly. Look at the Bitcoin dominance, right? We're kind of range. We kind of lost these lows. A pretty nice recovery so far. The daily is more impressive. Look at this daily chart. Bitcoin dominance. Now, could Bitcoin go up or down in value? Yes. Can Bitcoin dominance rise as Bitcoin goes down in value? Yes. It's Bitcoin's control over the rest of the market. So you might have remembered back on this day here, Bitcoin was up like 10% in that day, and altcoins were really pretty much red, kind of like we are today, really, across the board, right? Look at pretty much red as the average. But Bitcoin is slightly up. You got Matic slightly up, but that's about it, right? You'll have some anomalies every now and then, but important to keep an eye out on this Bitcoin dominance as this starts rising. Doesn't necessarily mean the prices are rising in USD, but Bitcoin's usually where you're going to want to be if you start seeing these kind of massive moves, whether price goes up or down, right? As Bitcoin dominance rises, altcoins seem to lag behind as prices move up, or, front run as prices move down. So if Bitcoin goes up 5% in a day, altcoins will likely not do that well. If Bitcoin drops 5% in a day, altcoins will likely do worse, right? So that's kind of the significance of Bitcoin dominance, not much else. How about we check in on our friend, the DXY? The daily, right? We're kind of doing a back test again, another little breather, but we've been here before, right? The more important one is to watch for me on the weekly, right? Let's watch this on the weekly. If we start to lose the EMA 14, right? You could see back in June, we kind of busted down there, held that nicely again in August, early August, held the EMA 14 again. And now we're working on the EMA 8 even. So we're not even going to consider the DXY going into bearish mode yet, right? This is nothing but a healthy, continuing the healthy uptrend, right? This is what you'd want to see if you're in this asset. This is how you continue to remain healthy. Big move up, take a breather. Big move up, take a breather. Big move up. What the problems is when you start to get these bigger moves without taking the breather. So that, are we going to see that, or are we going to see this actually roll over, right? Bigger picture, the monthly. Now this is starting to look a little bit more interesting, right? We haven't seen a candle. Now this is not looking great for the DXY, but unfortunately we have 18 days left before we can see that. We have to go all the way to the end of September to see how this closes. I mean, this would be pretty ideal for crypto if we closed here, because this is looking pretty close to a shooting star here, which is likely lead to more bearish, but it hasn't closed yet. You got to wait for the close, right? It might end up, up here by the end of monthly close, right? Might end up at 112, right? And then it's just nothing. But ideally, right, I would love to close the month at 108. That would be textbook signal that, at least temporary, monthly, a bigger breather, so to speak, maybe. So we'll have to check on that. Important to keep an eye on that, keep tabs on the DXY, but it really looks like it's could just still be just taking a breather, right? Look at back at 2014, nice move up, and then just come back to that EMA 8 and really just hold it. Went sideways. Even if it does this, right, it's going to be difficult for crypto to move much. We could get some bigger moves. Maybe Bitcoin goes to 25 to 30K if something like this ensues, but other than that, we'll just have to wait, right? We need to see a rollover. So that is that for this update. How about Ethereum real quick? Kind of more of a general market update. We can go to the weekly. Here we go for Ethereum on the weekly. We got to take off the Bollinger Bands. They kind of pretty much skew everything. Ethereum on the weekly. Nice move up here. Maybe a little bit of consolidation. Almost a nice little bull flag here. Forming, move up, right? You can just put it on there. Look at that. Like nice little flagpole, move down, nice move up. So maybe we see this continue in the coming days ahead. So move up in this direction. We have to clear and close above the EMA 21 for Ethereum. That would be what I'll be watching for. You can see the rejection back here. So this week, maybe we can manage to do that. If not, right, we need to be holding after, this move down, move back up. There's the EMA 14. We're holding that. So far, so good. That's kind of the low right on it for the daily. Ethereum has, we're looking at a good level here, right around the 1700 after the nice move up from the lows here, 1400, right? Nice move up to almost 1800 here. Nice, maybe bullish, just rest. But this is kind of a key pivot level, testing the EMA 8 right now, just under 1700, right? Previous levels. I mean, this is pretty clear cut right here. So we're either going to get rejected or, we're either going to lose support or maintain support. But here's your level, right? You're either buy here with the stop loss under, or, you're taking profits here, right? If you're worried about that, but this is exactly the level to be watching for on the daily chart around 1700. So if we close under here, or namely the 8-day EMA, 1690, if we close under that, then we're probably heading back down this way, right? We're probably rolling over. But so far, holding good. So this would be nice if we could, continue some kind of move like this, right? You got to move up, just a healthy breather, and then, continue move up. So that's what I'd be looking for. If we do that and we start to bounce here, we take out the 1800 level or take out these highs even, our next spot to be watching for is right around 2K, right? That's going to be the 200-day EMA right here. So 2K. If we start to hold this as support in the coming days ahead, this week, right? If you see a bounce tomorrow, even today, and this level holds, we're very likely going to 2K at least for Ethereum. So that's a nice little move. Nice trade setup right here. We're at support. You're buying at support. You're shorting at resistance. Unless you lose that level, then you can flip around and ride the short down. So that's really how you do it. You need to be mindless. You need to be a robot. You shouldn't have any emotions when you trade. I know it can be emotional if you have too much at stake, or you're thinking, this guy said this guy said that, right? Just look at the charts, right? This is support, buy at support, right? Stop loss under, short at resistance, stop loss just above. That's how any pro does it, and that's how you should learn to do it. If it doesn't make sense, pick up a textbook, you son of a bitch. Let's look at harsh. September 12th, quote of the day. The object of the superior man is truth. Confucius. Car of the day. You guessed it, McLaren. And Mantis Green, the 570S. But you knew that already, right? Mantis Green, because why not? All right, that'll do it for this one. We'll try to do a couple more updates throughout the week. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you watching this long. If you have, thumbs up. If you haven't already, I'll see you on the next one. See you soon.